So on my Healing Guys podcast, I talk about the fact that the Quran is corrupted. Yes, I also talk about how the Bible is corrupted, but that's not really so much my focus. Since I'm Muslim, I'm exposing that the honor of my prophet has been dishonored, obviously, by the devil. And I try to expose a lot of things about how this book is corrupted, all the evil that therefore the devil, when he corrupted it, using humans that he was, possessing, how much, evil stuff that he said is okay based on the corruption. All the evil stuff that human beings in human civilization they used to do that was backward, that was sexist, that was perverted, that was harmful, that was abusing, that was disgusting, that was basically just trying to destroy the humanity of a species and basically making them act worse than objects. If you and I were to sit down and list all of that, it would be a long list. At least 200, 300 evil types of practices. They used to turn that into culture. God's religion would always come down. It would always come after culture. And evil conduct just overall. But evil was turned into culture. You get me? So if prophets were coming down all throughout human history to get rid of evil, they were also getting rid of culture. And those humans obviously were mad. They don't want to get rid of their culture because they love harming themselves and they love harming others. So culture and evil were always destroyed when God's religion comes down. Not the culture of a language and food, but the culture of like what you practice and believe, because it's always going to disrespect and destroy morality. And it's always going to put family as this like cult-like thing that you cannot leave. You have no individuality. They control each other. They control you. They can do this to you, blah, blah, blah. It always made the family like some sort of God over you. But a filthy, disgusting, perverted, nasty type of image of something that's like a God or whatever. Since God is good. So it's just so hard. There's too much evil in this religion. I can't even list it all, okay? But I'm just going to make examples of it in this episode, at least so you guys know. Islam, obviously the devil, what he did was, Muslims are the dumbest people on the face of the earth. Basically, all the devil did was he just got some bad humans, made them get possessed by demons. They sat down, took a little paper, they took a writing utensil, whether it was whatever they used back then. They took some ink and they just wrote lies about your prophet. So whatever someone wrote down and simply said, Prophet Muhammad did this, so-and-so, Halim something, Abdullahi ibn something, Uthman, blah, blah, blah. They just list long, annoying Arabic names. All this random stories. And then the devil tells them a story. He did this. She did this. He raped her. He beat her. Blah, blah, blah. And it literally, the religious hypocrite preachers then tell the Muslims, since this sort of story says the prophet did this, or his companions did this, or so-and-so did this, you all have to do it. This is from God. Like that. It's so crazy. This is when you want to laugh, It's like evil Muslims are disregarding the fact that 1, evil exists. 2, they're disregarding the fact that the devil exists. 3, they're disregarding the fact that demonic spirits who work for the devil exist. 4, they're disregarding the fact that human beings in human civilization always hated God, morality, and changing themselves. And they always destroyed the earth with immorality. Always going after your rights as a human being. First, in the area of marriage, the devil is obsessed with preventing men and women who love each other from getting married. And just so you know, there is an age limit. Beyond that, you are not attracted to that person. That's you being perverted, and only demons possess people who do this nonsense. God created you to only be attracted to someone who's the opposite gender of you, who is not more than 4 years of age difference than you. So either you're the same age or you're 4 years apart. Beyond 4 years is impossible. If someone tells you they're 5 years older than you, you're not going to feel attracted. End of discussion. It's the devil who makes people do that stuff because they're perverted as hell. It's the devil who turned it into culture and forced females and males who are weak as hell to obey human beings like they're some sort of God, who are like their parents or whatever, to do whatever those humans wanted them to do. They pick someone to go to them. I'm not going to call it marriage. It's not marriage, obviously. They pick someone to go to them, to touch them, basically. And they will basically sell their body. They don't fight. They don't protect their body. They don't run away. They don't become their own group. They don't fight for morality. They don't pray to God. They don't do nothing. They just go and obey whoever is acting like some sort of owner over them. You can't be like, I don't know what you're talking about. We're kind of civilized now. Look at Indians. They're a disgusting culture. Always choosing basically who they call like someone to marry or whatever. They treat people like it's normal for someone else to somehow pick someone for you to have sex with. Excuse me. First of all, it's not sex, it's rape. But that disgusting backward culture that Indians have, that Buddhists have, a lot of Confucianist people have. And then who else is in it? Obviously, a little bit of the Mormons. All these weird, backward, disgusting religions that come from the ancient times when humans were worse than animals. And then a little bit of it in Christianity, like saying women can't have abortion, and all the ways it disrespects prophets and constantly talks about fake stories of them, accusing them of being perverts and weirdos. My God. And then it enters Islam, God's true religion. So you never figure it out. Because this one has way more perversion than you can imagine yourself. So one of the examples that this episode... I can't believe it that, you know, when you see something so insane, you start to wonder if you're dead or alive. Like, am I in a dream? You got to be kidding me. Okay? When you're a rational person, you can't believe how much evil humans can do. Like how they just descend. What type of insanity they descend to. So there's a lot of these hadiths, obviously, that are man-made, that are written by evil humans who obviously... Some Muslims are not, as the Muslim preachers, which are called sheikhs, they're obviously not going to throw it away because they're perverted, lunatic, who are going to go to the depths of hell. Basically, there's ones where they're making it seem like it's permissible to marry your extended cousins. No, it's not. Anyone from your bloodline, all the way back to cousins and other weird names. I don't need to study all those random names that are long. As long as they connected to you in family, their family. It's perversion for you to go to them and let them touch you. 2. The other one, they say something like, because Arabs had this filthy culture. Look at my words, culture. This is before religion came to them. This is before the prophet came. Why is he coming to them? Because they're crazy and they're doing evil and they're harming themselves and their entire ethnicity, and they're barbaric and crazy and lunatics. So God has to send them somebody. You agree? That proves God is good then. But they destroy the whole story of why he sent the prophet. They make it seem like it's just random to come to people. And the Muslim preachers will act like they understand. No, we know he came to them because they were committing a lot of sin. And no. They're liars. They're hypocrites. They're going to go to the highest hellfire for accusing their prophet. Disrespect. You think prophets are just regular people? They're the people of God. They came to save you. So if you disrespect these people, you spread lies about them instead of protecting their name and saying these things are false. This is permitting evil conduct, therefore it's not from God. How dare they say all this filth about him, raping a 9-year-old, having 11 concubines, blah, blah, all this nonsense. You're supposed to protect his honor. I came to protect his honor. Do you understand? So I don't care what you Muslims will believe. Your time is up. And the good Muslims that you keep pushing out of this religion, they keep becoming non-Muslims because of the filth that you don't want to admit is from the devil and in this book. The other stuff they have is that they believe that they should continue the filthy nonsense that Arabs used to do. Primarily in Saudi Arabia, where random females would breastfeed your children. I don't mean like some sort of situation where the mother can't do it or something. I'm talking about situations where they just made it as a preference. Like some sort of cool thing. They literally acted like that's somehow better. What? That was not because they're dumb and they're misguided. Okay? That they believe some other female over there should breastfeed your children. No. It was because of perversion. The devil had a plan. He basically said that female who breastfeeds the children, right? She's basically related to them now because she breastfeeds them. They act like somehow they're your family or something because they breastfeed the person. A complete stranger. Who cares if they breastfeed you? They made it seem like somehow that person now is related to them. Get it? The devil's trying to give strangers power that they don't have, rights that they don't have. And he's trying to give those who are related to you, he's trying to take away their rights of whatever relationship they have with you. He's always taking away someone's rights and giving it somewhere over there. That's a stranger. Her breast milk doesn't matter. She's still that complete stranger. You're not going to use her breast milk to connect it to this complete little baby that she doesn't know. She's not his mother. She's not his sister. She's nothing to him. You creepy, weird lunatics. So back then, obviously these humans know what they're doing, okay? Evil is not something humans actually believe in. It's not something they can fall into. They do it intentionally to harm others and themselves. They're perverted as hell. They like this nasty stuff. Don't accuse God of not giving them enough intellect or something. Okay. Then when those children grow up, she breastfeed that complete boy stranger, right? Okay, this little baby, he's a boy. Okay, she breastfeed him, okay. And then some little girl from another family, she breastfeeds her. Okay, in the future, this is how you know the devil really hates marriage. And he's trying to create anything he can to get rid of it. He creates perversion to get rid of it, right? He makes it normal or permissible to make humans who are so old come after you. All of you, when you were growing up in your teenage years, I know you saw some creep weirdo who's 5 years and older, always acting like they're looking at you. Maybe coming to your family and acting like you're some property they can ask you for their hand or something. As if you can somehow be given to them by your family, as if you're some gift or property. Can I have your carpet? It's really pretty. You're a human being, and they're treating you like a property. Indians call that, can I ask for your daughter in marriage? Muslims do that filth as well, because Africans have some backward, nonsense, disgusting culture too. Europeans have it, but they kind of evolved out of it. Asians have it still. There's so much perversion. Old humans coming after you. Someone way too young coming after you. Your own siblings and family coming after you. They're not going to obviously act like this one's normal. So what they're going to do is rape people. Ask the average person. They probably had perverted siblings trying to touch them, entering their rooms and stuff. A lot of the human beings who are homosexuals today, well, they were raped or molested by their own family. That's why. When they become perverted and nasty instead of normal people, well, they're obviously going to lie to you. Because they know you're going to give them therapy. They don't want help. They became perverted too. They want to do that to themselves. So they're looking for someone who basically falls under the same description of the abuser. It's a male. His abuser was his father. Same gender, therefore. He's going to look for males. It's that simple. Creepy old male. He's always looking for them. He wants to get harmed and raped again. What kind of human is looking to get raped? Do you see how psychologically damaged they are? That they're looking for harm. But when people try to help them, they cuss you out. They punch you in the face because they're possessed. That's a demon fighting with you. He doesn't want you to save their soul. Okay, so there's this perversion. This one going to the same gender. Going to the family. Going to extended family like cousins. And extended cousins. Where's the other one? Going after children. This filthy religion the devil came up with. Because the original Islam is gone. The fake one the devil came up with, he obviously said they can go to kids if they want. If you say to them, if this creepy old perverted female comes to them and says, okay, you guys are okay with this filth, right? And she says to them, okay, that they should give her their little sons, their little boys, who are 9-year-old. They're going to be like, no, it doesn't work like that. He's a boy. He's male. He's supposed to, financially take care of the household. He's the head of the household. There's no such thing as head of the household. It's just like when you and I have a job and the application for a place that we're renting to live, it obviously says who's the head of the house. It just means money. Doesn't mean actually head of the household like some leader of a home, as if the other people are not equal to you. You weirdos. We're equal. There's no gender that's ahead of the other. This is talking about money. So whoever they're saying, right, usually takes care of the financial. This boy, no, 9-year-old Muslim boys cannot go to old female Muslims who are perverted. No, he can't provide. So it's only the little 9-year-old Muslim girl that some creepy old male can just take her. We call that marriage. We don't call that rape. No, that's what they're gonna say. They're protecting their gender as much as they can, even though they're perverted as hell. You would think, why would they care? They don't care. They will want their little boys to be raped too. They're the ones who are probably raping them, turning them into rapists to females. Because the goal is to always go after the female first and then the male. Okay. So this filth, right, of saying whoever, this random female who's like a breastfeeder for the whole city she lives in, this Arab city, these Arabic humans of ancient time before the prophet, there's just random females who put up their hand up in the society and say they're just going to breastfeed anyone who wants to be, their parents wants others to breastfeed. Okay, so guess they even put this story into the prophet. They said that because he was an orphan, some other female breastfeeded him. I don't believe that's true. They create anything they want to make permissible. Any evil the devil wants to say is okay and from God. He always accuses the prophet of somehow having some connection to it. The poor prophet is literally, his entire character is destroyed. It's not even a little bit. You know, when you defame and lie about people, there's usually a little bit of truth that's still remaining. Every aspect of his life, they destroyed him. They accused him of being with a female who's like 40 years old when he was 25. That's perversion. He's not going to go to some 40-year-old old creepy female. This is the man of God. You lunatics, he came to save you. He literally is coming to teach you what perversion is. I'm not going to call it marriage because that's not marriage. But they're basically saying he married a 40-year-old female when he was 25. No, he didn't. Do you see how extreme it is? He's 25. They say a 40-year-old female took him. Oh, now he's 60-something years old. He went to a 9-year-old. Do you see how extreme it is? Why is it up and down? It's such extreme, irrational. Because it's a lie. The devil is lying. If you observe the male gender, the males who are always having divorce, it's always around the age of 40. They become perverted. That's why they have divorce. Their wives have to leave them. And then for that reason, then they start going after females in their 20s. So it's that same psychology. But the prophet is male this time. The devil doesn't know what to do. He still created the same story either way. If a prophet was a woman this time, well, then he created that story. That the woman was 25 and this 40-year-old male came to her. He's lying. If I teach you that psychology, which I did in prior episodes, you'd understand that. But okay, this time he's man. And the 40-year-old one, the old creepy one, is the female. They want to make it seem like it's hip and cool. That he's somehow a feminist or he loves women that way. Yay! No. It's just perversion. That person could be your parent. So it's perversion. God created age for a reason. 4 is the limit. Muslims are always asked, what is the age that someone is actually sort of like in a situation where they can actually be sexual? Like, what is the age you can marry? They don't have an age. Because the devil put perversion of going after children into it. Why would he give you an age? People should be getting married in their 20s. Not when they're teenagers, they're kids. But they're human, they can fall into sexual conduct when they're teenagers. So teenagers should marry teenagers. I don't mean 13-year-old, goodness. I mean someone like 18. But there you go, same age group as them. You're not going to bring a 25-year-old and a 20-year-old and get away with this. You just committed a sin of perversion. You're committing a sin. It's not just something unhealthy. You're a predator. You're predatory. Do you know how many people you have in your age group who are good looking that you could be with? Why are you going after these people? Because you're a predator. Normal people don't do this, so don't mock people. This human race is large. Number. So basically, These filthy hadith books, some of the narrations are saying when that male grows up and that female grows up from two different families, they're complete strangers, they're healthy age group, and they obviously want to get married. The devil created this nonsense in Arab culture using the filthy Arab culture practices that was backward, that God obviously hated, and he sent a prophet to them. You can understand why he sent them a prophet. They probably were practicing more extreme evil than other people at that time. Because God has to pick a group, right? Almost every group in the human race was doing a lot of evil. Okay, he has to pick one. He's not going to stretch one man into 30 copies. So when... I can't believe how much evil is in this religion. We don't even know, Muslims don't even know the amount of filth in this religion. And they don't want to admit it's corrupted? Only a truly wicked transgressor can agree to this. I literally saw a clip of Muslim females talking about the narrations that say their husbands can beat them, which obviously only means a bad human could do it, a bad male could do it. And then, this is how you do their brainwashing. They're just like those humans in a cult. You know, those who like abuse, like the females in porn, who are obviously not normal people. Those are, a lot of them are rape victims. They go into situations similar to the abuse. God taught us psychology to help his creation evolve and understand why humans go with their own free will into situations where they're being harmed. We have psychology today that explains it. So they want to mock God, obviously, and act like this is just from human knowledge and psychology is not from God. That teaches us what's wrong with these humans. They call it bad terminologies like BDSM or whatever. Lord have mercy. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to the stories. So basically, the females, these Muslim females, some of them act like they're sheikhs or whatever, and they're literally laughing. And she said, she insulted Allah by saying, or God by saying, Subhanallah. She used that word. Why are you putting that word out of your mouth? Now you have more sin on your face. Subhanallah. Look how nice God is to us. She's talking about a verse the devil put into the Quran where he's saying a husband can beat you. And she's saying Subhanallah, which means glory be to God. Can you believe this? Do you see how these females are brainwashed? Do you see which type of trauma they live under for someone to glorify their own abuse? Woo. She says, Subhanallah, God is so nice to us. He gave us options. He told the man to first separate himself from sleeping in the same bed, to be silent. To what the hell is going on here? What is going on? You're gonna be grateful for being treated like that, like some weak, dumb little thing that needs to be beat up because you don't do what a human tells you to do as if they're God? Marriage, something you do out of desiring each other, loving each other, wanting to be companions, wanting to be friends, wanting to help each other in this life, something God created out of mercy. The devil creates a story for you of one being like your God and you're submissive and weak, and this God is a devil God, and he can rape you, he can beat you, he can take away your right to go where you need to go and have your freedom. You need his permission all the time. Oh, as a Muslim female, you also need males overall to give you permission to do anything a human is supposed to do on their own. They call them a mahram. What the hell is wrong with this group? They're literally thanking God for doing this to them. They're accusing God. I want you to understand, these females actually don't think this is what God said. Please don't mock people. They study the religion. They know. They know these evil, filthy preachers are forcing this on them. God have mercy. Basically, these Muslims who are evil, who are promoting this religion the way it is, instead of taking out the evil in it, all agree that corruption entered, that humans wrote lies about the Prophet. They took out a lot of, narrations which are called hadith. They took away those ones and compiled the rest together. Not these ones, the ones in the past. And these ones are just spreading it. So basically, they're willing to spread anything as long as it has perversion and evil in it. They're only going to speak up against other types of lies. So the other stuff that they're saying is fabrication is based on other types of misconduct. But it's not necessarily immoral. It's like a story, but maybe it's not true. Oh, but when it comes to perversion, sexism, abuse, a creation equal to you acting dominant over you, being extremist and terrorist and killing innocent people, Muslims who leave the religion and non-Muslims, that part they say, yep, this is not fabrication. Let's keep this one. What? So do you see what I'm saying? It's not because they actually think this is God and they're not going to practice it and they're good people or whatever, but they just think God is the crazy one. Right? It's not like that. They already don't have to be scared. They already know people wrote lies about the Prophet. They already know there's corruption in hadith. Why don't they just use that as their sort of confidence now to then get rid of the other stuff that's weird and nasty and immoral? Because they're not actually confused. They're evil. They like it. Remember what I told you in my other episodes. An evil human is someone that likes to be harmed. They like evil to happen to them. So then that's why they don't care and they don't condemn evil happening to others. It's how they see themselves. Good person means they cannot see evil happening to them as a good thing. They cannot allow it. Okay, so then they cannot allow it happening to others. So it's how we see ourselves, our own body, that determines where we become, evil or good. You honor your body, okay, you're not going to allow evil. Then you cannot allow it for others. So they don't have the ability of a normal, healthy, sane, keyword sane, they're not sane people, they're crazy. They're psychologically twisted, they're possessed by demons. So when prophets used to come down, such as what demons also did to me because they persecute me like a prophet, and that's how I'm exposing their lies. They accuse us of being mentally ill, which means possessed by demons, which is the quality of the people we're trying to stop. Such as these evil Muslims and the past ones who are evil just like them. When we try to stop them, they accuse you of being mentally ill. The human is not accusing us. The humans are weak and scared. It's the devil, the demons possessing them, that are accusing you of being mentally ill. When you are sent by God to stop them. So it's a weapon to accuse righteous people of God of mental illness. Because that means you're possessed. Get it? It's not just about the insult of being crazy. No, it means something. In human history, mental illness meant demonic possession. Okay, so prophets and righteous people overall were always accused of this. Because the demons possessing those humans who are accusing you are the ones accusing you because they're trying to sort of deflect their own quality to you. They're possessing this human. Therefore, this human is crazy. We're not going to call it mental illness because it's not an illness, but they're crazy. They're twisted. Because they're literally glorifying rape and murder, harm and abuse to themselves and others. Are they not crazy then? Okay. They're not normal. They're like the psychopaths, the narcissists today that detectives interview and they can't understand how someone can be that evil. Like that. They're psycho, right? Maybe psycho will make you understand what I'm saying when I say crazy. So I'm going to finish. Sorry, I'm supposed to finish these two examples I was giving. My audience is obviously usually going to be non-Muslim right now. And the human beings who come to my podcast or my YouTube channel, just so you know, except one person for now, I guess, are actually demonic spirits. They're actually possessing those complete random trolls. They just come and listen to my podcast. So real, actual people are not going to listen to my podcast because it's not time yet. I'm still going through persecution right now. When it sort of settles down and it stops, that's when others, non-Muslims, Muslims will finally find my content. They're going to be happy to see someone speaking against the evil of all religion, and this one specifically, because no one can touch Muslims, basically. No one can say anything to them. They're like homosexuals or LGBT. You say anything about them, they cry wolf. Oh, poor us. We're being abused. We're being discriminated. You're the weirdos. You're the most harmful group on the face of the earth right now. You are not the people of God. Just like the prophet came down to stop those Arabs, whoever God chooses this time is going to come to stop you. They're not going to go to non-Muslims. Non-Muslims are going to be the ones who will change. And finally, they're already making their countries as civilized to some degree. It's going to be easy for them then to take on the rest, to do the rest. Because they're already better than you. Not the people who are actually non-Muslim, because the majority of them are evil too. I'm talking about the idea of the non-Muslims who are decent, who do their best to make their country civilized and safe. The evil ones, you're not going to know, are in the majority in non-Muslim countries like the US. You're not going to know the average person would love to rape children and go after their siblings. And that you don't know, because they live in a civilized country. They can't expose themselves. You're never going to know the true character of people. You're never going to know the true character of people unless you basically take away laws or make it permissible to do something. Okay, so basically this example, they're saying that, these Muslim females were glorifying, males abusing them. And obviously it's not marriage, it's something else. They're in some slavery to some perverted Muslim males. So you can understand then why, right? Muslim males can get away with harming females. It's because the female is like the ones who are trafficked and kidnapped, and the crazy ones who actually want to be in that situation. They film themselves in porn videos being harmed and abused and raped. It's like that. It's the psycho, non-human females. They act like they're normal people. They're people of God, blah, blah, blah. They're allowing themselves to get raped and beaten and tortured, manipulated and brainwashed and dishonored and disrespected under the name of God. They're not normal females. So quit it. You're not going to have any reason with them. You're never going to be able to reach any reasoning with them. They lost all reasoning in their brain. They're exactly what you think those victims are, who stay with abusers. It means they're evil, get it? They actually like being abused. I already explained on the psychology of evil on my podcast that evil human is someone who actually likes to be harmed. They don't care. So that's why they make jokes and they make it seem funny, or they make it seem normal for others to be raped or killed or harmed, because they don't mind that happening to them. So what does that mean? They're not a human. They lost the ability to see their body in that way. That way, when you honor it, you don't want danger to come to it. They don't care. A lot of them have been victims to that stuff already. So that's why they want others to go through those things, because it's like they feel happy that others then also get raped or harmed, because they feel like then it's not just them. The average Muslim family, the brothers are literally touching and molesting and, coming near their own sisters. Okay? The brothers, exactly what you think. Since Muslim males are perverts, exactly, except the tiny few that run away from this religion or hide somewhere, only God knows. 99, I would actually say 99% of them are perverts. Obviously, when they're already that young, they're agreeing to perversion and evil, they're going to go after their sisters. And then obviously they're so happy. The religion says, the devil, the bad parts in it that he put into it, it says he can control her. Imagine as a human being the amount of emotions and thoughts from darkness, right, is going to enter your body, your mind, when you're told that you have power over someone else, right? They cannot step out of their home without your permission. As a brother, you have to go out with her all the time. She cannot get married without you guys approving it. All that filth that Indians used to do. Entered Islam. Well, they act like they can choose who you marry. They act like marriage is something between family. and the person you want to marry. What the hell? It's their body, what they do with it, who they're going to be sexual with, that's their choice. All this ceremonies and all this stuff is just cultural. Humans came up with it. They're just taking God's blessings. And they're getting married. They're done. They don't need your permission. If you agree with it or not, doesn't matter. That would mean you're God. Get it? Disgusting. It's already the stuff humans used to suffer from. The devil would always prevent them from their marriage. He would always split apart people this way. So all these perversions, all these things where someone is choosing someone for them, the family is choosing someone for them. These creepy old males coming to them and saying, can I have your daughter like that, some property? All this stuff is just there for what the devil did in order to just get rid of the normal marriage. The one God created. Two people who love each other, who are compatible in age and attractiveness. Attractiveness is also required. We all look different. When you see people who look way too different than each other in physicality, well, there's a problem. I don't mean skin color necessarily. It's just ugly and way too pretty. No. That's not normal. The attractiveness level has to be close in range. There's something wrong with these human beings who are picking people who don't match them. Don't mock God and be like, he did it. He didn't do nothing. Anytime you see a weird mismatch of anything on this earth, it's the devil and that human who are doing it together. God created a healthy balance. They don't want to follow it. They're all psychologically damaged. And it starts in the household. So you guys think if they live in civilized countries like the U.S., they'll be fine. No, they won't be fine, because when they go home, these filthy, cultural, backward families are still controlling them and harming them and brainwashing them. It doesn't matter if you build a good civilized government for them. The family is always the way the devil uses to destroy human beings and their rights. Doesn't matter if they go to school every day. Sit there, nice, high school, all their classmates are healthy, civilized kids, and they're enjoying their youth. It doesn't matter. These Muslims and others who are like them, backward cultures, backward religions, are all going to go home and mix with other Muslims and others who are similar to them and continue their backwardness. That's why, the religious preachers also kind of tell them not to mix with non-Muslims or others, because then they will learn to be civilized to some degree. Those who are civilized in the areas, they're backward. They don't want that, obviously. So they make it seem like a sin. Okay, so that example I was giving, the breastfeeding. Basically, the evil cultures the devil taught them was that the prophet came to get rid of, but then he got attributed to him. They accused him of it. That's how you know someone's accused of something. When you already have a story of them, that they came to a group of human beings who are practicing bad things. And you're told this person came to stop it. And then one day you're told they also did something bad. They're accused. Correct? Because you knew they came to stop those people. You knew they would actually have to be good and opposite of those people. If then one day you're told there's something wrong with them, that's not logical. They came to stop them for a reason. You can't be like, I know that he came to stop ABC. We're saying he did GEF. No, it doesn't have to be the same thing for it to be obvious he was accused of it. As long as they're accusing him of something similar, then you know they're accusing him. It's a lie. They're trying to defame his character so that after his death, they can continue practicing what he came to stop them from doing. See how logical it is? They're evil. They're doing bad. God sent them a man who's supernatural. Stop it. Some people who wanted to, who didn't practice this or who were good people, okay, they changed. They wanted to work with him. The bad ones are pushed out. Things became moral in the environment. There's no force in religion, okay? It's just he came to stop the bad stuff. He came to stand against it. People just work together to make the place civilized and safe, like that. Okay. One day you hear that, then that man did some other filthy, weird stuff over there. That's not logical, because it's not a regular person who can become evil. It's a prophet, a person sent by God. They cannot become evil. Since he's a prophet, he cannot be evil. Get it? Prophet or messenger or even just someone God chooses who's supernatural leader means they're pure. God personally designs them differently than you, the average human. They're never going to become evil. Do you understand that sentence? They cannot become evil. They cannot become possessed. They're pure. Okay, so they're accusing him. When they act like the prophet had this type of situation, blah, 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 they're lying. If it's so similar to what they used to practice, that's even more evidence they're lying. Because you already know that stuff was practiced before he came to stop them. If then all of a sudden they tell you he did something similar to what they used to practice, well, then you already know they're lying. Why would you practice something similar to what they did? Go do something else maybe. You came to literally change them. Why would you be similar to them? So they're saying if this random complete stranger female breastfeeds your son, and then from another family, that little daughter over there that family has, she breastfeeds that little girl when they're babies. If those two grow up and one day meet up and get married, want to get married, they say that it's not allowed. It's sinful for them to get married. Because this female, this complete stranger breastfeeded them both. As if it's their mother or something. As if they're siblings. It's just a way to prevent people who love each other from getting married. The devil hates marriage so much. You guys don't understand. That's why he turns almost more than half of the human race into perverts. He doesn't want them to be normal and get married and experience what love and sexuality looks like. He makes them perverted. Whew. Basically, a few years ago, Muslims used to always have, these large seminars, these large conventions. I grew up in Minnesota. So, since I have divine missions, one of them is to expose the evil in God's religion, the corruptions in both his scriptures, also the Bible and Quran. Only God knows how he's going to send down the truth, who he's going to use in that time. I can't tell you what I'm going to do in the future. Just know I have divine missions that a prophet also has. You're not going to know who I am because the whole human race is blinded. Okay, so for that reason, God exposed me to everything that I need for my knowledge. Okay? He didn't make sure I was born in non-Muslim. He made me born into Muslim human beings. Since they're all evil, that means the family was also evil. And then I grew up always going to mosques in Minnesota, since they're usually the largest Muslim community, especially Somali. That means I know every sheikh. That means I know every mosque. These people, when they see me in the future, they're gonna freak out. They're gonna be like, wait a minute. When you were a young female, when you were young, you were literally mixed among us. You were roaming among us. You were listening to our filthy lectures. You were like a spy for God Almighty. You were literally sent to be like a spy to watch us and observe us and see what evil we do. You were there all this time. You're not some random person that popped up from the earth somewhere. It's gonna be so funny. They're gonna freak out. God mixed me with them for a reason. There is not a Muslim preacher or sheikh that I don't know in the entire United States. Some I personally saw them. The ones in the Arab or Middle East. The ones in Africa. I know them all. I know basically who I need to know. That's lying about my prophet and God and morality. These hypocrites who work for the devil, I know them all. It's not hard for me to understand what's going on then. So basically, God is going to remove the corruptions of his religion very soon, within the next 3 years. There's no way it's going to be that long after that. It's too much. So for that reason, Muslims are exposing themselves in a more understandable way in terms of psychology of evil. Before, right, those years when I was a teenager and I used to go to these Islamic conventions and see these preachers, they would always, be like apologists. They would always twist or misinterpret the hadith narration of the Quran to make it Not as evil as it sounds. They would try to downgrade it, as if they don't necessarily like it or whatever. They would try to make you think that they don't like it either. But now recently they're exposing themselves. They're really showing that they're happy with this. They like it like that. Many of them, they act like they don't practice it themselves, right? But now they're exposing it indirectly without really saying it, that they're practicing it, obviously. Basically, I'm saying I know what's wrong with Muslims. I know what's wrong with them because I've been mixed with them by God Almighty. He made me see them. He made me watch and observe them this sort of almost 30 years of my life. It's not hard for me to understand what's wrong with these human beings. Just know that this is the corruptions in Islam, all this filth. It doesn't matter who breastfeeds you. Strangers are strangers. As long as they're a stranger, they're not connected to your family tree. Family tree is not just bloodline. It means cousins and extended cousins. Anyone going down that family tree, you're not supposed to marry them or be with them. That's not marriage. Okay, someone completely outside from another bloodline, way over there, complete strangers, way over there, the other human beings come from. That's who you're supposed to look for, someone that you want to marry. It's that simple. It doesn't matter if someone breastfeeded them as a baby and that person also breastfeeds you as a baby. We're not bringing this nonsense into God's righteousness. The dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's like saying we had the same doctor, so we can't get married. This is how you know the devil is laughing at Muslims. All he wants is to prevent marriage for people who really want each other. You know, especially when they're youth, and that's when you're supposed to get married, like in your 20s. So then he obviously will do anything to prevent it. If he cannot make them perverts, well then he's going to create weird laws like this. And you already know, anyone can then lie then, right? Any random female can just pop up and be like, oh, excuse me, I'm 50-something years old. I breastfeeded you. Both of you. Yeah, you guys are getting married. I'm sorry, you could not get married because I actually breastfeeded you. Anyone can even just come and lie. It's so fun for them to split up people. So that's why Muslims should be grateful that they live in non-Muslim countries and they don't have to really see what their religion is capable of doing to them, the amount of danger and evil it is. Because these non-Muslim countries protect you. So when they always screaming and shouting, acting like their religion is good, one, they don't know the evil in it as much as I give you examples of like these two. They don't know, okay? Even I didn't know. This, I swear to God. What day is it today? May 10, 2024. Even I didn't see this before. This breastfeed nonsense. Making a complete stranger seem like some sort of mother to you or whatever. So that everyone she breastfeeded complete strangers from different families, they can act like if they ever meet one day and they're the same healthy age group and everything, that they want to get married, then they cannot because this random stranger who breastfeeded them all as babies is nonsense. Only disgusting humans do disgusting things. Rational Muslims, people who want to use their mind, the devil obviously knows then that's a bad thing for him because then they're going to create their own section of the deen, right? They're going to become their own group. And they're going to be the moral ones. Everyone's going to join this Islam and the other ones will be destroyed. Okay, so he said you can kill anyone who disagrees with them. Anyone who disagrees with this sort of Sunni Muslims. But it's so funny. They don't try to kill Shia. They don't try to kill Sufi. Why are they obsessed with trying to kill people who are technically like the main group, which are called Sunni? Sunnah is, you know, basically means like practice of the Prophet. They're accusing the evil stuff that random people wrote in ancient history of that being what the Prophet did. Sunnah means tradition, you know? It's just so easy. Like, imagine from the perspective of the devil, how dumb he thinks you guys are. All he has to do is possess someone, write a book. Anyone can write a book. Anyone can lie. All he has to do is just possess an evil human and write a book and accuse your prophet of saying those things that weirdo wrote down. And that weirdo is basically saying all these evil things are okay to God. And you guys just run around the earth saying, okay, then it's okay. Yay! Only evil humans do this. Good people could never do this. Oh my God. Even if they actually thought a prophet said it, then they would just say the prophet was twisted and became evil then. They would then believe he became evil. They're not going to actually think a good prophet said it. It's so sad. It's sad and it's sad. So just understand, these Muslims who promote the evil stuff of Islam are actually possessed by demons themselves. They're very evil. They know what they're doing. They're just like ancient humans who used to practice these similar practices of injustice and immorality and disgusting backward things. But those humans may be called their culture and not necessarily religion. And at some point it turned into religion, right? At some point they started to worship like the founder. That's how Hinduism and all that stuff then started. And then bits and pieces of that evil that the devil taught those ancient humans, way back in history, obviously now enters God's scriptures. The Psalms, the Gospel, the Torah, the Quran. Hi, squirrel. There's always squirrels coming around me. Even though they're possessed and animals are possessed by these demons to monitor me, I still treat the animal normally. Okay, so I'm just going to end it here. If you see this nonsense, understand. This should give you more confidence that God's religion is corrupted. The civilized, healthy, decent, rational humans, that's who you should mix with and not Muslims. This is his true religion, so if you convert, well, good job. At least you're not living a far away life from your creator. Just understand the evil in it is not your business. Don't tell others you disagree with them. They're going to try to actually endanger your life. I'm not joking around with you. So yeah, as I was saying, they don't think they can kill Shia or Sufi Muslims or Wahhabi Muslims because they became a sect. They became like a group. These Muslims are scared to try to kill anyone who's a group, get it? They just think they should kill one person who disagrees with their false, filthy parts of Islam. Because you see, right? It's just what dictators do, it's what evil does. It's like that whistleblower. If they think to kill this one, they think then they're free, right? From that person becoming a sect, a group. So they're scared of a group coming out of that individual. So if you ask me what the solution is, before God sends down leaders to help you, the solution is you good Muslims to leave the evil parts of Islam, only follow the good and be your own group. Be your own group. That way you are Muslims. And when this group who call themselves Sunni come up, you're like, well, you guys are your own sect. We're not a sect. We're the true Muslims because we follow the good, we don't follow the bad. That's actually us being the true Muslims because we honor God and the Prophet and ourselves. Evil is evil. You're not going to justify it. And okay, now that they become the sect, get it? Then now they become the weirdos who separated from God's actual religion. Don't let them make it seem like you're the sect who separated from God's religion. See, evil always likes to deflect their own quality to you. They have to take your position. They have to, just like a criminal likes to act like the victim, they have to take your position. They have to act like they're the actual Muslims. No, they're the sector. They're the ones who split from us and are taking the filth of this religion. They're predators. Just observe them. Such as the filthy family God put me in. They're filthy as hell. They're perverted as hell. So don't treat these human beings as if their religion says bad things, but that they're not bad themselves. No, except those who don't know anything, right? As a non-Muslim or outsider, actually tell them the evil stuff you saw. So that you don't misjudge the actual good Muslim who doesn't know this stuff. Because not everyone knows the bad stuff in their religion. They don't study it, obviously. But those who do know, well, obviously they're a threat to you. Don't be their friend and don't invite them into your life. They think rape is okay. They think domestic violence is okay. They think enslaving people is okay. They literally say slavery is not okay, but it's only okay under this one condition in a war with non-Muslims. They're crazy. They justify something that the Prophet came to get rid of. See, the Prophet stopped slavery. Africans were being enslaved. And other forms of, humans just being controlled like a slave. Okay, the Prophet actually came down to stop slavery. It was around the time that you would say Africans were being destroyed by Europeans. He came to stop it. It's just history's lost as to how much effort he put into it. They make it seem like only Abraham Lincoln did something. Well, that's in his little country what he did. He did a wonderful job. We're talking about what this man did more than 1,400 years ago. You're not going to know because they accused him of the things he came to get rid of. Just like demons persecute me and they accuse me of mental illness, pull me out of jail, accuse me of mental illness. Like that. They can just possess people and target you. They don't need people to actually know somebody, right? And see them as some sort of someone that could get rid of the evil they practice, and they're so scared it doesn't have to be like that. A community doesn't have to know someone in order for them to have their demons persecute that person. Demons just already know, and they can just target the person. So human beings cannot bother me or be threatening towards me, nor can they bother or be threatening towards my prophets. Do you understand? I'm not someone you can do evil to. God put me in this situation to show me what the devil did to his religion and to his prophets, how he keeps lying about them. The same way at every job and every environment I went to, complete strangers were possessed to make up random stories about me. The way they did it was so similar to the hadith books. They take some truth. Yesterday you were sitting here, you saw this customer, blah, blah, blah. You said this to them, blah, blah, blah. What? I'm sitting there thinking, whoa, how do they know that I saw that customer at this time? This co-worker, this employee was not working that day. Because sometimes they would tell me the customer didn't say anything, like the customer didn't report you. And you're thinking, wait a minute, but how do you have this information? Because the rest is falsehood and a little bit of it is truth. Okay, but how do you know? That's when God was trying to show me that these are demons. Since they're invisible and they can see me all the time, it's easy for them to obviously, right, give me details about what I did in a given day that the actual co-workers they're possessing were not able to see with their own two eyes. They were trying to show me that they're demons. They were trying to expose themselves to me. We're not harassing you because we're weirdos. We're really demons and not human. Like that. So when I share my testimony of how demons persecuted me all my life, then you're going to see how they actually lied about the prophets. It's similar to how they lied about me at all my jobs and random places I go to, and how it's easy for them to accuse and lie about people because they're just going to use whoever is possessed, an evil human, to just randomly enter their body and just make up stuff about that complete stranger over there. It's easy. That stranger doesn't have to know you. They don't have to care. They're just possessed. They're empty shell. So, okay, I'm going to end this episode here. Just know as a non-Muslim, this is the corruption. As a Muslim, this is the corruption. Don't do evil. Don't agree with evil. And protect yourself and don't mix with these Muslims. Don't go around telling them that their religion is corrupted or whatever. Don't put your life in danger. God will send down people who know how to deal with them. And gather the good ones. The good ones will work with the non-Muslims. And finally, the truth. Morality is going to be something that's finally able to arise. No one's going to force who you worship on anyone. But morality is going to be promoted. And finally, evil humans are going to be stopped. No matter what their religion or culture or whatever they're using. Evil is just going to be stopped because God is going to send this person. God is going to send whoever his leaders are. It's not a regular person that they obviously would harass. And if, right, anyone has ever been persecuted by the devil, well, it wasn't the humans. Those were demons possessing those humans. Humans don't have the power to persecute a supernatural person. Prophets are supernatural. Whoever God sends in the future to help you is also supernatural. It's that simple. The devil has extra power, not the regular power. So it's unfair to the person because he's possessing people who are weaker and scared of this person. But God's power is in them. And they're able to use God's power to bother someone that is stronger than them. If that power is taken away, then the demon and the human both run away and freak out. As I record this, there's obviously a lot of people who are possessed and just being used by their demons to monitor me all the time and watch me. I mean, the demons are watching and monitoring me all the time and harassing me all the time. You just can't see it. So I have to keep pausing my recording so their witchcraft doesn't get into my mind. They put a lot of evil thoughts into my head and emotions, such as, what I'm saying or what I'm recording. These humans are blind. They cannot have an opinion about what I say. They're blind. It doesn't matter if I record this type of topic in front of them. They cannot have an opinion. They're blind. These are demons, not people, not humans. The human race is blinded from me and anything I do and anything I say. It's just demons running around trying to irritate me all the time with intrusive thoughts, harassing me with crazy lunatic humans, usually mentally ill, that they're possessing. And mental illness doesn't exist. It just means they're possessed by demons and they don't want to admit it. They keep making noise around me to disrespect what I'm saying. That's how you know they're possessed. They just have to irritate me. You just can't see what they're doing to harass me right now. Okay, I'm going to end this episode here. Know that there's obviously more nasty, disgusting, backward things in this religion. That is the corruption, and God is going to take it out very soon. It's just like any time in human history, these things were practiced as well. It's the same thing. God is going to stop it again.